Hi everybody, welcome back to Old Pete Gaming. I'm your host Old Pete. Now let's get back into the long dark. So we are here in the Riken after having just slept following an incredibly long episode. Apologies for that. Went a little longer.
I could eat a horse.
I was planning on wrapping up right at the moment where we ran into the bear. I was gonna cook that deer that we had shot and eat and call it a night, but then we came across that bear and I just couldn't help myself, you know. The opportunity was there and I decided to take it, and I stand by my decisions, but it did result in a slightly longer episode than I would prefer. So we'll try to avoid that this time. Oh, I could... Weather's not looking amazing. I do want to try and find the bear. Let's confirm. I believe we checked this already. Bear killed. Alright. There is a dead bear waiting for us somewhere out in this beautiful world. Do I have the deer hide? Yeah, I do. I need to drop that. Let's go drop that right now. Yep. As we pass the forever steak. Alright. So it didn't seem like it was too cold today. -6, I can live with that. Not going to bother to eat. We're not going for any sort of what's well-fed bonus. That's the words I'm looking for. We're not going to worry about any of that. At some point, yeah, I did see someone suggest in the comments that I should just read a bunch of books, and that is definitely a possibility. My first priority, I think, is getting all of my arrowheads crafted, which means I need to harvest quite a bit of metal and still collect quite a bit of firewood. And I kind of like to save my books for blizzards when I don't have anything better to do. I just read them then. I'm not in a huge hurry to get my skills up. It is helpful, but lower skill equals more suspense, the way I see it. If I know I'm going to light the fire every time, it's not as entertaining. Let's see, anything? Hello, peaches. Interesting. It's stuck there. Ruin.
Take this food.
Well, I definitely will not be eating that anytime soon. But I will cook it for the free skill point. So there is that. If life gives you lemons, cook them and get a free skill point. See if I can get up high where I can maybe see where the bear ended up. It is looking a little stormy, guys. Yeah, so right now I'm thinking, you know, overall grand strategy for this zone. I want to loot out these remaining areas in the, I'm going to call it the south of the zone. It's probably not technically south, it might be east. But in any event, I want to hit the last few places in this zone that I haven't already looted out. And then I will probably just go into the whaling factory and just start hacksawing metal and start breaking down crates. And then I'll haul that out to the Riken. We'll get our crafting done. We'll have plenty of arrowheads. See, this is how you get cloth here. It spawns clothing items that you can break down for cloth. It does feel like it's going to start blizzarding on me. Definitely has that feel to it. Getting a strong blizzard vibe from this one. Now, I believe we found a little memento hint that is related to these two caves that are over here. One's a bear cave up there, and then one is a actual interior cave that you can go into that I will not be going into because it's one of the, I believe, well, it's one of the handful of locations in the Long Dark where a wolf can spawn inside. So there can be a wolf in that cave. And again, in case you're just joining us, wolves are set to interloper difficulty here. So, you know, I might not die at this point. I have a lot of pretty decent clothing on. But, you know, it's always a risk on these settings. Whether you'll live through a wolf struggle or not. I think I probably would. But I do want to see if we can find that, whatever that memento hint was hinting at. I could technically hop into the cave, just stay at the mouth of the cave and warm up. But that's a little more risky than I want to be, I think. I think I would rather, if I needed to warm up, go up to the bear cave up there. Just hop in there. Waterfall. Beautiful. Not seeing any sort of like cache or anything that would seem to relate to that hint that we found. I don't want to go in here. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're crouched. I don't believe we have anything on us that would attract a wolf. Verify that. Okay. So I'm gonna warm up. Oh god.
Never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
Hopefully it hasn't now turned into a blizzard out here, because that would actually be kind of a pain. Oh, that was a fast load. Alright, so we're warm. Wow, we're actually warming up outside. So the weather improved while we were doing that. That's nice. That's a definite win. Makes me want to grab that fir branch right there. Yeah, I didn't see anything related to that memento. Maybe it's up there. So we'll go up there next and check that out. Would be cool to find that, since that's some of the new content that they added. Story is not your written. I think I can get that there. I need to be careful here because there can be wolves here, right around this corner. It's nice that we're warm because that means we can take our time, go slow, be real cautious. Trying to get a sense where they are. Figuring out where they are is half the battle. Ah, there's one. Oh! Look at that, there's a dead deer. Wonder if that's a... That must be a prop deer. I don't think deer spawn in that area. That's good though, we can pull the leather off of him. Be nice to get that curing. What's really awesome about this is that we won't even need to make a fire in order to... Well, actually the bear will probably be frozen, so I think we will need to make a fire still. In order to quarter the bear, which is what I would like to do. Be my preferred approach. If we don't get everything off the bear, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it. Because I'm not necessarily going for 1,000 days here, you know? So it's... If some meat gets lost early on in the run, it's not the end of the world. I'd rather maximize my ability to adventure and discover new things. And just experience what this world has to offer me. I think I'd be okay if I got up now, but I'm going to be safe and get around this corner where we break line of sight, and then I'll feel a little bit better about standing up. He is looking in my general direction, so I want to continue being stealthy. Dealing with two wolves would not be great here. Would not enjoy that. Alright, we're good. There's usually a car up here that we probably could have hopped into if we absolutely had to. But I'd rather avoid it. Hey, a sapling. Hey. 4 saplings. Excellent. That's nice. So let's drop our hatchet. Don't want to use that. We'll use the hacksaw instead. Audio bug on the first one. Other 3 should be normal. Well, at least it's a consistent bug. Should be easy for him to fix. Yeah, even though it's warm, we still probably will need to
carry this load for much longer.
There he is. There's our bear. He's in the cave too. That's wonderful. So we'll need to probably start a fire in order to thaw him out enough to quarter him. That's the only real reason we need a fire here, because it should be more than warm in that cave for us to do our work. Get everything off of him. He'll be a great source of guts, and of course his hide is valuable. Saying that, I rarely use the items that... Oh, hello. Yeah, we'll definitely... let's take it over to the... No, we won't. We won't. Here, we'll hop inside the car and we'll chop this thing up real fast. It takes 15 minutes, I believe. 30 minutes. Alright. That's fine. Alright. We can walk again at a reasonable pace, although we can't run. The nice thing is that we should be able to cure all the stuff off of him in this cave too, so that's a plus. Nice firewood here, we'll chop that up. And we'll use that to make a fire, on which we will, or which we'll use to thaw him out. I believe with our clothing level, at this stage, I would feel reasonably confident that we would survive a blizzard in this cave without a fire. I think we'd be warm enough. I don't want to test that theory, just to be clear. Oh. We might be testing that theory. Except we won't, because I have more than enough firewood. It's so convenient that he chose to die here in his own cave. Get my arrow off him. Thank you. Alright, so you are totally frozen. Guess just make a fire here. Wow, we have a lot of torches. Why do we have so many torches? Extra sticks for the fire, the way I see it. How much do we have any coal on us? We don't, but we have a pretty decent amount of firewood. Alright, so get the fire started. We'll use this one. It's got plenty of life on it for our purposes here. And that way we'll preserve our much nicer ones. Well, it does sound like it might be choosing to do a blizzard for us here. Which I can think of much worse positions to be in than being in a bear cave with a dead bear that you need to deal with already. Yeah, look at that. That really came on fast, guys. Luckily, we're shielded here. Get this going. Boy, I kind of wish we could have made it a little further back. I think it'll be safe here. So while we're waiting for him to defrost, we'll pull a couple stakes off. Get those cooked up. Now I'm harvesting the largest pieces possible because every time I eat one of these pieces I'm going to be getting parasite risk from it because it's predator meat, and I am not at cooking 5 yet. Once I reach cooking level 5 I'll be able to eat as much predator meat as I want and there will be no more risk. Until that day comes, I'm afraid I am stuck having to manage my predator meat intake. And the way you do it is by just eating the biggest chunks that you can. So let's see, how far back do we have to come to be in the warm part? So back here, we're not near the fire, and we're at 5 degrees warmth is what we feel like. So that's great. That's really great. Of course, next to the fire, we're plenty warm. So we will do half of the quartering here while those steaks are cooking. Perfect. And we will pull a couple more off. It only takes 16 minutes to pull these 2 off. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want something cooking while I'm doing my thing with the bear here. It's good. Excellent. Alright, let's get this guy finished off here. Beautiful. Floating bear chunks everywhere. Let's get these guys moved into the interior where they will start curing. Right. If I manage to take out the wolves that are patrolling near the cannery, I'll come back over here and I'll grab these and move them to the whaling processing center rather, not the cannery. The cannery's in Bleak Inlet. So let's see, we got 48 minutes left on the fire. Pull 2 chunks off. planning, now that I've dealt with the bear, I don't want to keep my fire this close to the entryway. I want to move it back, because I think we're safe here, but I would really hate for the wind to gust just right and hit this fire and blow it out. I'm trying to get stuff done. So I am going to start a new fire further in the cave. This should be fine. And inside we will go. And this is... I like to do it out of the way where I'm very unlikely to accidentally walk into it, because that has happened to me before you ask. I am a little low on tinder plugs. I have to craft some after I get this one started. Luckily, it will light the first time for us.
That did it.
Beautiful. Alright, now it's not letting me. It's being a little funky with the hitbox for the fire, which is not ideal, but that's alright. We'll make it work. I believe I can just bring these over here, and they should continue cooking the same way. Yeah. Oh no, did it restart it? What was it at? 46 minutes. This one's at... Yeah, so it didn't cost us anything to do that. Potentially it cost us the progress between when we took it off and when we put it back on the fire, maybe. No, they're still in sync. They're still in sync. Perfect. Yeah, so that doesn't cost you anything. That's good to know. I'll tell you what I need to cook next, though. I need to cook some water, because I am getting quite thirsty. And while I do have enough to get through the night, I believe, I don't think I have enough to then in the morning. Let's see how much we have once I drink this. Yeah, so if we were to sleep right now, I'd be alright, but I want to process all this meat, right? Got nothing better to do. And the more I cook, the more skill points I get. That'll help me survive later on in the run, so it's sort of an investment in that way. If I wanted to be real cheap about it, I could cut these guys into really tiny chunks, like 1/10 of a kilogram chunks, and the way you do that is you start harvesting the meat off of it, and then you basically just, after half a second, hit escape. That'll cancel the harvesting, and it'll give you a little chunk of meat. And of course, each chunk of meat you cook essentially gives you an equal amount of cooking skill, regardless of how big. Oh, looks like the blizzard might be dying down. Regardless of how big it is, it gives you the same amount of cooking skill. So you could, theoretically harvest this guy into, 10,000 pieces, cook all those 10,000 pieces and get all those 10,000 skill points. And that's your fast track to cooking 5 if you want to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way. This feels cheap and kind of gamey and unsatisfying more than anything. So I want to earn my cooking 5. I mean, cooking 5 is when in some ways the game is over. You've won, right? You're no longer starving all the time. Hours. And of course, I need to cook water next. I need to remember that. Please remember that.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
It's so dark. Kind of wish I had the fire out a little more where I could see it. the lighting in the cave is not quite enough to navigate by comfortably anyway. Still quite low in our harvesting skill also, so harvesting all this meat will give us quite a bit of skill in that regard, and that's quite helpful because once you get high enough in that, you can quarter fully frozen carcasses without the necessity of doing what we did where you start a fire. Hey, look at that. It's already paying dividends, guys. I'm gonna go grab the meat that we already cooked. Might as well have that over near us. Anything left here? I don't think so. Alright. Grab this guy out so I can see it. Confirming, nothing there. And,
All this gear is slowing me down.
Perfect. Alright, let's make some water. Don't have a ton of wood on me. But I do have enough to make this, so that's good. And then I think we'll probably sleep in the bear cave tonight. That's honestly the safest way to go here. I'm not quite... Well, we're halfway through the night already. I'm tired enough to sleep for about 9 hours. That'll put us early in the morning. Yeah. And the alternative is to just forget about all this amazing meat. 40 minutes. We'll do some. This probably was a waste. I probably could have done more with that. Huh? How much firewood do we have? I'm gonna save. I'm not gonna try and cook anymore. I'm gonna let the fire die out, and I'm gonna go to sleep. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's pretty out here. Let's go check it out. Very well lit night. Very tired, apparently. Oh, rabbit. Scared me. Boy, that's quite well lit. Probably navigate by that if you needed to. Not gonna try that. So yeah, we're feeling like 4 degrees here. It's pretty good. Cannot complain about it. Fresh cooked. 900 calories. We will eat the whole thing. Okay, we now have, if we look, we now have a 1% chance of intestinal parasites. So for the next 24 hours, we just have that chance, and after 24 hours, it will calculate whether we have it or not. And right now, if we don't eat any more, the odds will be 99 to 1 that we don't get it, which is pretty good odds. I did drink. Off. right. See you guys in the morning. Another blizzard. All right. Well, in that case, we will continue to pull meat off and give us good harvesting skill, which is valuable, as previously mentioned. How am I thirsty? Fine. Yeah, the reason I'm choosing this over, say, eating another piece and reading a book is because I view this as a book that I can't take with me, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to get these skill points harvesting this if I don't do it right now. You know what? I'm going to switch to this because this will be better. Because it's frozen. Frozen meat is easier to harvest with the hacksaw than with the knife. We're almost done with it. Our day is already at an end here. In terms of in the game. Well, that is a lot of meat. How do we do on our skill level? Let's see. Wow, we're made good progress. We're at 2 and we're already third of the way through it. Got up to cooking 2. All good things. Do I eat one for the road and bump my odds up? Is it foggy? No, it's not too bad. Alright, good. So we should be able to get back relatively easily. I'm of course not going to be carrying any of this meat. Not going to be carrying any of the guts or the hide. I am, as I was contemplating, I am going to eat this guy. It will take me up to 4% chance. But I want to. Mainly because I think I might get back. You know, we're close to the processing center there. I think we'll make our way back there. Be able to put some stuff down there. And then maybe... Hey, Mr. Rabbit. I guess I could kill him. You know, we're gonna kill him. Arrow point, right, archery point right there. So we'll grab the hide off of him. And him. Alright, well, that broke our arrow, but we did get a bear and 2 rabbits out of it, so that's good. Can't complain about that. Yeah, that's the nature of this game. You think you're doing one thing and then suddenly an opportunity presents itself and suddenly you're doing something else. So, come back in here where it's warm, drop these rabbits so we're not attracting a bunch of predators, and we're going to get these, the hides taken off. Get it curing. You know what, I'm going to drop these. Let them start curing too. We have, we're gonna have plenty of arrow shafts, guys. Plenty of arrow shafts. this good thing going. If we were to stay here again tonight, it would be nice that we have some non-predator meat that we could cook. Appreciate that. However, I'm not planning on doing that. I'm gonna get all this off, and then we will continue to try and make our way back towards the processing plant. And the reason I want to do that is because that's where all the metal and wood are. Alright, is it? Nah, it's not too dark to travel. We can do it. Early on, I find shooting rabbits are a great way to get your bow skill up a little, to where you have a reasonable chance of, you know, stopping something with an arrow. Because you don't want to be taking on a wolf with a bow at level 1, or even 2, right? It's just hazardous. Alright, this might be silly, but I don't want to. I want to avoid the wolves if I can. We're gonna do this. Hey, that worked. Alright. Let's climb down here. Alright. Excellent. That's exactly as I was hoping that would work. Wolves over there, so we should be able to just flank around them here. Same way we came over here. And I think the only remaining places that I haven't looted out are the trailers around the processing center and the old stone church and the couple of cars. And other than that, I think we've pretty much, you know, sucked the value out of this zone as far as looting goes. We still got our crafting session to do, but tonight's gonna be about getting the materials. Just checking to make sure I'm not carrying anything. It's making me stinky.
Anything right now.
We're gonna be using this evening to get what materials we can to help us with our crafting. Probably don't have a lot of time to cut up stuff, but we can use just our fists and our feet and break down crates for wood, and that'll give us a lot of firewood. And you really, you know, you only need a few pieces of coal, maybe, you know, somewhere between 4 and 6, I think, to get it up to temp in order to be able to craft. And once it's at that temperature, then you just need to maintain it with any wood, and so the reclaimed wood is actually really great because it's easy to get, and you know, each piece is like a half-hour burn time or so, so it'll be a great option for you know, an alternative to standing out in the cold and harvesting limbs. And it's here, right? Like, there's so many crates in this place that we can break. In fact, I'll go in this way. See how dark it is. It might be the case that it's so dark that we just call it a night here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's very dark. Well, here's where I'm at. I think I want to cut this episode off here anyway. You know, we found the bear. Hey, hello. We did all that. That's good, good progress. And I think I'm right at the time limit where I want these to land. And so I'm gonna call this here. We'll go in here to save. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. This has been Old Pete Gaming, and I'll see you next time.